everyone, welcome back to the channel. Finally, after a few months of COVID-induced lockdowns, I'm finally able to go take my bike for the dyno tuning that it deserves. Now, if you remember back a few videos ago, I told you I took the bike for a dyno evaluation. The numbers were good, but the bike was running a little bit rich, and that's causing the bike to run a little bit inefficient, both in terms of power and in terms of fuel economy. So hopefully that's been sorted. Hopefully we'll have a bit more longevity in the range of the bike, and hopefully those numbers will be even higher as well. So I'm excited to see what those results are. Also got a new front tire swapped on the bike whilst I was there, and again, hopefully a bit more grip, especially coming into the winter, wetter seasons here. So I'm just about to head into ThunderTech now to pick up the bike. We're gonna throw the GoPro on, take it for a ride home, and give you guys my thoughts on how the bike's performing after this little tune-up. All right, I'll see you then. Hey guys, so just picked the bike up from ThunderTech here in the suburb of Mundaring, Perth, Western Australia. And like I said, just had the dyno tune finally done, and the front tires, that's a new Dunlop D40 on the front there. Give that a go, see how it runs. But we're going to talk about the dyno tune. So looking at the numbers, I'll bring those up on the screen for you now. I'm really happy with how this came out, guys. So as you can see, we had a peak horsepower of 102.5, which is fantastic just from a cam. I really wanted over 100 horsepower, so happy we hit that. And then the torque at 115. I mean, that's fantastic. I thought I'd get 110, but to be sitting at 115, I'm really happy. So that's some really good numbers. All right, so let's start it up, and let's see how she goes. So, looking at going back to that graph, that peak torque's kicking in at just under kind of that 3,000 mark, which is awesome. That's kind of where I'm riding most of the time. So I'm excited to see how that feels. Oh, smooth. Nice and smooth. One of the issues that I had with the bike on the evaluation was it was running too rich, just causing a bit of fuel inefficiency. Probably also the reason that the power wasn't hitting its full potential. But Brand, the mechanic and the tuner at ThunderTech, sorted that out for me. And I've been dying to get this done for a few months now. Alrighty, I'm just going to bring up my RPMs on the tack here, on the gauge. So we're at 2,700, that's pretty much where the torque is at its peak, third gear, and let's roll on that power. Woo. Straight away, the bike has a slight different tone under load. It just sounds a bit smoother. And it sounds like it's got a slightly lower tone as the throttle opens up more and more. Before, I thought it was a little bit more high pitched, so I like that tone. I want to try and find a moment where we can rev it out a bit more and just push those higher RPMs. Drop it back into third. All right. Man, this bike is so much fun. Power band now on this bike is so much fun. It's so usable, exactly where I like it. That peak torque kicking in just below 3,000 and just really throws you in the back of your seat. And revving the bike out as well, kind of at about 4,000, 4,500, there's that surge of horsepower which I didn't get before the tune, and it just keeps on pulling and you get that second burst. Again, just so much fun to ride. I'm really happy with how the 468 cam has finally turned out after a tune. I think it's a really good choice for your stock engines, particularly if you don't have plans to build them at a future date. And if you're somebody who likes to ride at lower cruising RPMs and really utilize torque more so than you would horsepower, even though there is some good horsepower there if you want it. As you can see, looking at the dyno again, you get a really nice surge of torque at that low point around that 3,000 mark, and it pulls out for another 500 RPM or so, but does start to die off. So it's not as flat as you can get from some other cams, but it does possibly have a higher peak in that torque range. If you're looking for something with a bit more of a flatter torque curve and possibly some more horsepower, and maybe you're also looking to do a future build on the motor, I wouldn't go for this cam. I'd be going for something with a bit more lift, possibly the Redshift 472, SNS 475, maybe even something with even more lift if you're looking to really build out that engine. But for stock motors, you know, this 107 and a 468 cam and putting over 100 horsepower or 115 torque, that's awesome bang for buck power right there. All right guys, if you have any questions about the cam, if you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments below. I'll help out where I can. Otherwise, be sure to ride safe, drink damn fine coffee, and I'll catch you on the next ride. All right, peace.